I'm Edie Lush, Executive Editor, Hub Culture, here in the Future Mobility Hub. It's COP28. Absolutely delighted to be here with a friend that I've seen all around the world, Pulkit Srivastava. How are you?
Very well, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So you are co-founder of EVage. Tell me the problem that you're solving.
We are trying to electrify trucks. Listen, the focus around the world has been about passenger cars. People don't realize that commercial vehicles contribute to 36% of a city's pollution. And 2% of vehicles contribute to 50% of that pollution. Therefore, if you want to make the world a healthier place to live in, it's good to focus on passenger cars and sports cars, which are electrified, but one must not forget that commercial vehicles contribute a lot to a city's pollution.
And why are you focusing on cities rather than longer distance trucks?
It's a very important question. It's important to understand that cities only occupy 5% of world's land mass, where 50% of the population lives, consuming almost 70% of world's resources. So if you want to make human life better, you don't need to do a lot of things. Just focus on city, focus on the form factors which pollute the most, and you will see the biggest difference quickly. And also, the charging infrastructure in commercial vehicle in cities is easier to solve because the vehicle runs in a loop. So you take school buses, you take trucks, for example, doing last mile delivery, middle mile delivery is all based in cities. Let's take the low-hanging fruit if you want to make world a better place.
So you used a little bit of EV jargon or mobility jargon. So a form factor is a vehicle, is that right?
Correct. So like trucks is a form factor, buses is a form factor, passenger cars is a different form factor.
Okay, the next one was last mile and mid mile. Describe what both of those are for me.
So we focus on e-commerce, FMCG and logistics. These are the three industries we focus on. Last mile would be a package which gets delivered to your house from a warehouse or a godown, as you may call it. And middle mile is warehouse to warehouse or godown to godown.
Okay, so you're solving that problem. You're focusing in India first, is that right?
Correct. So we have a concept of Modular Microfactory, which means that we can plot these factories at 1/10 of the cost, space, and manpower in different parts of the world and produce locally. The first Modular Microfactory is put in India, where we'll be producing a couple of thousand of these trucks, focused on Indian market and a few countries around that.
What other countries?
Ideas to Asia. We have 3 countries where we are talking to with distributors, but yes, we will be there soon.
Okay, so the thing I know about driving, and it's just a hybrid car, is that once it gets cold, the battery, not so good. Tell me how you're focusing on that problem. I guess less of a problem in India, but as you expand, how do you deal with that?
So there are 3 battery chemistries which are most popular. There's lithium ion, which has 3 broad categories: LFP, lithium iron phosphate, nickel magnesium cobalt, and lithium titanate oxide. Each of the battery chemistry has different way of behaving with the temperature, with the road condition, heat and cold. We use lithium titanate oxide. This is the most safest battery from plus 60 degrees centigrades to minus 20 degrees centigrades. Also, it has an 8 to 10 year battery life. So what that allows us for our customers is they can fast charge it as many times as possible and have a longer battery life. And it is safest in heat conditions. We are probably the only electric truck maker in the world which has perfected it to the extent that it can work in the heat conditions as it does right now.
So I think this is absolutely fascinating. What's your hope in terms of manufacturing ability to scale up and scale what you do to other countries? How fast can you scale up?
We are opposite of giga. The whole world talks about giga, large economies of scale. We need to understand in the century and the year which we are in, we can work with new material science to have a lot more efficiency at decentralized factory with lesser carbon footprint, with more sustainable manufacturing, more circular manufacturing in smaller area. I can produce almost 2.5 times per square feet compared to most of the large OEMs, but I can put up a factory in 250,000 square feet, which would be a parking garage for a large OEM. So how quickly can we put up a factory in a new country if the government licensing is there and rest of the political scenario is okay? In 6 to 7 months, we can put up a new factory and produce a couple of thousand vehicles. It's far quicker, and we don't need $500 million. We don't need 3,000 people, and we don't need 2 million square feet. We can produce vehicles at 1/10 of the cost, space, and manpower. That's unique about us.
Amazing. Sounds like the EV age is truly here, Pulkit. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by Hub Culture's Future Mobility Hub here at COP28, and I'm Edie Lush.